Welcome everyone to our Zoom get-together, our meetup. My name's Gloria Lybecker, and I'm delighted to have you here tonight to join us. ASEA found me about a year ago, and it's just blown me away. It was really an answer to my prayers because I was really looking for something that could support me with my health, but also support me with my relationships with other people. I was looking for community that would share the same values that I do, and would be fun to hang out with. That's always the icing on the cake there. So Marion Palmer is the one that reached out to me. I didn't know who she was, but she found me online and she just started a conversation with me. And that's really a big part of what we're about in ASEA, is we really are about getting to meet people, getting to know them, find out what their passions are, and see if we can't help their dreams come true. I want to also acknowledge that the reason that I jumped into the business end of this is because there's really some excellent timing here. I'm really looking to create a legacy that I'll leave for my family. And I do believe that this is the vehicle that's going to help those dreams come true. I want to acknowledge that when we're talking about ASEA Redox, that these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. What the redox signaling molecules do is they really support the cells to communicate in order to detect, repair, and replace any cells they need to in order for the body to heal itself. And now I'm pleased to introduce to you a colleague and team member, Ruth Crea.
Hi, I'm Ruth Crea, and I found ASEA through Gloria. She introduced me the day after she was introduced. And one of the things that just recently that I realized, and it's kind of a big thing for me because there's a lot of triathlon runners and 5K runners in our group, and I haven't been able to run like for at least 5 years, or jog, because I don't run. I jog slowly. But just recently, actually just today, I ran a mile without stopping. My knees don't hurt anymore. They don't swell up anymore. But it took me a while to get my stamina up to even do that. And so it's a big thing for me. And it's like the molecules are detecting and repairing those cells in my knees. And I'm just really happy about that. And so now I'd like to invite you to watch a short video that tells about what ASEA is, how it's been produced, and how it can help you in many different ways.
By the time that you notice that something in your body feels off, your cells have already known for quite some time. That's because the health of every system in the body begins at the cellular level. So, in our constant quest for more energy, greater vitality, a sharper mind, and healthier skin, doesn't it seem odd that so many of us look to products that don't actually do anything for our cellular health? From energy drinks to sleep aids, to skin creams. We're looking everywhere but where we should. Now, we literally live and die by our cells, more specifically by the way our cells function. And the function of every cell in the body relies on something called redox signaling. Cellular messages that help detect problems within the cells, protect and rejuvenate them, and keep them functioning at their prime. In the decades since scientists first discovered redox signaling molecules, more than 10,000 peer-reviewed papers have been written supporting their vital functions in every major system of the human body. As we age and as stress and environmental toxins inundate our lives and weaken our defenses, normal cellular function declines. Communication pathways that keep our bodies in peak shape begin to fail. So until ASEA's revolutionary discovery was made, there was no way to supplement your natural redox signaling molecules and reverse this process. Through dedicated research and laboratory testing, ASEA has engineered a technology that can create a supplement composed of active redox signaling molecules. ASEA's groundbreaking patented process suspends them in a pristine solution that delivers trillions of these life-giving molecules. This cutting-edge breakthrough is the first of its kind and provides the only way to replenish and maintain peak levels of stable, rejuvenating redox signaling molecules. ASEA Redox Supplement is certified by an independent third-party lab to contain these cellular messengers. This product is safe and effective. With as little as 4 ounces a day, you're restoring something native to your own body. The exact kind of redox signaling molecules you create yourself, but in quantities that you need for optimum health. ASEA literally works from the inside out. No matter what your body's vulnerability may be, ASEA can bring your cellular communication to essential levels, empowering your body to achieve its health potential, starting right now. No one else offers what ASEA does. No one. Consider what this means. An innovative product that helps the body generate energy, activate antioxidants, and work the way that it should. A product that has been shown to make positive shifts in blood serum biomarkers over a 24-hour period. In other words, as soon as you drink it, it starts working. A patent-protected product that created its own category, and to this day, has no competition in that space. A product that you can only get one way, from ASEA. Hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world have already experienced the only way to help their cells communicate more effectively from a redox signaling source outside the body. Are you ready to experience ASEA for yourself? To find out more, talk to the person who shared this video with you. They can also tell you how to experience the benefits of redox signaling topically with Renew 28 Whole Body Skin Gel. ASEA allows you to experience health from the outside in as well as from the inside out. Drinking ASEA every day is such a simple thing to do, and it literally enhances the ability of every cell in your body to function and communicate at a higher level, allowing you to experience the vitality of true health and wellness. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. Give ASEA a try today.
And now it is my pleasure to get to introduce you to a guest speaker we're going to have today, Vicki Laraway. Vicki's a native North Dakota girl, and she has raised her 3 children in beautiful Northwestern Wyoming near the entrance of Yellowstone National Park. Vicki moved back to North Dakota in 2015 and is currently retired and enjoying life, spending more time with her husband, children, and 13 grandchildren. They've enjoyed 2 trips back to Wyoming already to watch a grandson's state legion baseball. And there's words missing. Vicki, you'll have to fill us in on those things. I also want to introduce, I want to just introduce our lead speaker here, Jerry White, who's going to be introducing and interviewing Vicki today. And Jerry is a physical therapist, and he also is the founder of the Gait's Shriners Lab in Spokane. I'm a little tongue twisted tonight. Please forgive me for that. He's also gone ahead and taught classes at the University in Eastern, and he is a coach for the Olympic level athletes. So Jerry, let me hand it over to you and Vicki. You want to unmute yourself, please, Jerry?
There was a rookie move.
I'm good at reading lips, though. Just
Very good. Hey, I'm excited to work with a group of people that are really focused and moving forward. And this particular group has touched each other's hearts, minds, and possibilities. And the first person that we're going to talk to is our special guest today, Vicki Laraway. And my job is to have her tell her life story like I want to hear it. So Vicki, thank you. Welcome for being here. And my first question is, what kind of professional bio do you have? Do you have anything to do with raising kids? We saw a little bit of that, and grandkids. And I picked up something that you're becoming a certified fishing guide for the family. So did you have any other professional credentials beyond that?
Done so many things. God's allowed me to sell real estate, work in the technology field. But my favorite job was the last job that I retired from, and that is working with people with disabilities. Formed a youth group, and it was just teaching self-advocacy mostly. And now that I'm retired, they're not going to get rid of me. That group is my heart. And I was able to go to a picnic with them just this last week, and just to see their joy in seeing me, because I've learned more from them than they have from me, but they seem to think I'm okay. So very
Well, very good.
self-fulfilling.
It sounds to me like as you got along through life, you found out that the real value comes from sharing life with other people, sharing your life's experiences, and helping people to grow into what they could become. Did that put a bit in a nutshell?
Absolutely, being the best version of themselves. That's my goal.
So when ASEA came along, which one of the four purposes, or first off, how did you discover it?
ASEA found me through my chiropractor, and she actually used some of the gel on my husband and myself. And my husband is not a chiropractor person or natural person, because his brother is a doctor, internal medicine doctor. So it was kind of hard to convince him of all this these natural products. But he walked out of the office that day and said he felt really good. And he has lived with debilitating nerve damage in his elbows. And so right away he noticed a difference there in his elbows just from the gel using at one time, our Renew 28.
And that's both elbows. So does he do push-ups for a living, or how is it that you can get both elbows?
Construction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the nerve in his arm, starts with an A. Can't remember the name of that, but the ulnar nerve. Yeah, that's what it was.
And then that's how you discovered it. But of the four different categories, time, purpose, health, and opportunity, what was the first thing that gathered your imagination?
My imagination, when I heard that it was native to the body, God-given at birth, my body was born to make it itself. It just made sense in my brain to be able to replenish what God's already allowed my body to do, and just to fill up that which I've lost through environment, chemicals, age. And so it just made sense that way.
And so from there, you had a visual picture of a new pathway. What transpired to then solidify that, and maybe even take that piece and move another to priority? So what was it that made you get to a point where you said, boy, oh boy, this stuff really works?
Well, my own personal experience was with age. Well, actually, I'll start way back. I had gotten aspartame poisoning as a young mother, to the point that it was almost debilitating for me, until I realized what it was. And it was from the aspartame, and I stopped doing that, and the symptoms subsided. But as I've aged, I've noticed my joints and different areas have been getting almost like an arthritic type feeling, getting up, just having to stretch before I can even move again. Going down the stairs to get dressed in the morning for work, I'd have to take them one at a time. Once I started to see it, it wasn't probably a month or two that I noticed I could get out of bed, shut my alarm off, run down my stairs. And I was like, this is very unusual. But yeah, I knew then in my own self that it was helping in my joints.
So
Mobility.
that's, to me, inflammatory responses. And
Mhm.
if your body is inflamed and attacking itself, that can't be good. So you now have discovered that there are ways for your body to perhaps figure out ways around some of the things in our environment that are causing the inflammation. Did that strike in your mind that anyone else ever suffered from those things? Is there a market in that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think everything comes back to inflammation.
Well, here's something interesting from a physical therapy standpoint. Now that we're talking about inflammation, did you know just headaches alone is a 60 billion, wait, before all this inflation and before all the money spent on the health or sick care system the last couple of years, it was $60 billion a year just for inflammatory responses from here to here. Imagine how many other inflammatory their responses are. In fact, everybody on this call, I want you to sort of think of, is there anyone you know that complains of joint problems? So Vicki, when ASEA came along, there's a really interesting study that came out that said there are 5 genes that are upregulated, turned on a little louder. Oh, that we found was that was turning them on louder than what? Well, as you get older, they start to fade out and your body doesn't respond to the inflammatory keys in the same way it did when you were a little kid. So when this study came out, it was fascinating, and it said that that was only one of 5 areas where automatically the cells in your body turn up the regulation of these observer genes. Yes, and in joints and inflammation, but also in digestion, hormones, reproductive, and in the cardiovascular in your heart and lungs. So now, with that bigger picture, you begin to start to see more application. So for most people, get a chance to get that personal experience. You've now gone out and begun to start to spread it with other people. What are some of the things you've seen with those people that further your assessment that it's really something big?
Well, with my husband, excuse me, my husband had 5 bypasses the January prior to us understanding the positive things about ASEA. And within the first month, he noticed the bottom, he is diagnosed with a sugar disorder, and the bottom of his feet felt like pinpricks in them. And he knew, he didn't complain about it because he said it's the first thing he'd felt in his feet in years. And then he noticed a 6-inch line in his leg that was burning. And that was from a vein that they'd taken out to put in his heart. So those are 2 of the main things that he saw to begin with. And then I have a sister-in-law who had a tooth that she had that was turning gray from a procedure that was done to her when she was in her 20s, and she's now in her 50s. And that tooth started hurting, which it shouldn't have been because there was no nerves connected. And she noticed the tooth was hurting, and then it started turning back to its natural color. There's so many things. I can't even put my finger on one that
just to help people who are watching this for the first time, you figured out how to apply this liquid and this gel to various things. So in your particular case, your husband's case and your sister's case, describe how you were able to figure out a method they could do by themselves that might have made a difference. What did you do?
method that they could do themselves.
How much did you use? What did
Okay.
you use? How long did it take?
Okay. The gel my husband used and still uses on his elbows. We've used it in our eyes. Both of our eyes have gotten better since we've been on.
Let me correlate that. We recommend that you use the liquid in your eyes, not the gel. Just wanted to make sure.
Spray. Yes, we spray it in our eyes. We spray it all over our face. Actually, we've used it inhaling from a inhaling sprayer for our nose when we catch colds. I have a lady who put the gel in her ears from the ringing. She was spraying it in her ears and it wasn't really doing much. Put the gel in her ears. Totally, the ringing that she's had for years is gone. And she didn't even notice it until she said everything just started seeming so much louder. And then she just realized I'm not hearing any ringing and I'm hearing. So, yeah.
So those were simple applications that you could do. Did your vision expand, and what did it expand to at that point?
Vision, like actual
Of
vision.
what was potentially, now that this is in your household
Mhm.
and it's easily available and you were associated with it, what bigger things do you think you could do today than when you started?
I am so passionate, and that's a gift that I have, is just helping people. I've used it on my youth for that have cerebral palsy. Just rub it on there. I mean, it comes up all the time because any issue is, I believe that this product is able to help because everything is cellular in our bodies. But my young man with cerebral palsy, we put it on his wrist and it straightened out. I'm passionate. It comes up every time, all the time, whenever I'm out, when I'm with my family.
Was this only a financial outlay for you, or was there a time where just these recommendations you made to other people started to build a way of first maybe getting the products for yourself and then anything bigger than that? How did that work out?
Well, I have had people say that maybe they weren't able to afford it, but yet I've shared with them the way that they can share to help them to be able to get their products paid for by just sharing it and getting them on a call with an expert to share the information and how they can improve their well-being as well.
And so that began to grow a group of people with similar interests. And have you seen them keep that and hold tight to it, or have some of those begun to start spreading the word?
I have several that they have become just as passionate, and because they see the results that they're getting and their families and their friends are getting from using the products. So yeah, definitely I've seen it grow, and I see their passion. When I went back to Wyoming, I see my kids and they're calling me a lot just to have me speak with their friends about it. And so yeah, it's growing.
Now, since where you live now in North Dakota and in Wyoming is the geographic center of trade in North America, and everybody lives there.
Right.
Well, I'm being facetious because there's probably more antelopes than people there.
Right.
Do you see applications for people that live in cities, people that live in small town? Where do you see this going, and who could take advantage of it?
Well, I've got people that I knew years ago, that one of the ladies from Pennsylvania, and she's signed up people from Idaho, and she's got people involved from different other states. In fact, one of the ladies that she called that she thought might be able to engage in the business part of it as well, she called her and she said, ASEA saved my life. So I see ASEA is amazing. And everybody that tries it sees that it's amazing. They just need to give it that 90-day trial, and it can't not help you. That's what I always say. I know that's a double negative, but it can't not help you.
Well, and here you've had some pretty doggone good success in a place where there's no people. But there are animals. Have you seen any aspects of this at work on animals?
Okay. Ooh. I was able to attend two of my granddaughters' county fair a week and a half ago in Gillette, Wyoming. And one of them came, my cow's bleeding, just before she had to go in to show her steer. And I grabbed my little Renew 28 from my purse and I said to the mom, I said, go put this on him. And she just has started ASEA, the mom, and she's like, okay. So she went and put it on. The bleeding stopped immediately. She went out, showed her steer, got grand champion. Yeah, we've seen it help on animals. I have a friend who has a dog that can't digest. So her son made a chair, like a high chair for the dog, so that because the dog has to sit up and till the food digests. And she started rubbing it on her dog. She said, Vicki, this seems like it's a miracle if it's really helping, because she said it's helped her dog to be able to digest his food normally. So yeah, I've seen it help
Well,
on
so now
animals.
we're dealing in a totally different market space, and you're probably going to run across what I see sometimes. Did you know there are some people who would rather pay for a surgery on their dog than their spouse?
That's my friend. Yeah, absolutely.
So here's a whole new marketplace of people who love these animals. How would you imagine setting up distribution to get this to the greatest number of people for them to have the benefits of it?
Yes, maybe going to some of the I don't know, county fairs. We have flea markets that we go to. Veterinarians.
Okay, very good. And what we also do in this kind of a group is to say, we've been given this amazing opportunity to buy worldwide distribution rights in 32 different countries for $40.
Yeah.
And then as we gather together, one of our purposes is to make it available in a very affordable way to anybody that really needs it. And through that process, we have developed a system where we can give people kickbacks and rebates and actually commissions off of setting other people up. Do you have people that live in your area of the world that are now able to live anywhere because they can take this message, work over the computer, receive the stuff in the mail? Those people can do the same and expand. What does that do for the people in a place like North Dakota if it's winter lasts too long, or how do you see that fitting for somebody who's looking?
Yeah, I think that's an amazing opportunity for people nowadays that are working from home, which a lot of them are. Even state departments in North Dakota have not even gone back to work yet. And so, yeah, you can live wherever now to do your regular job, but also the opportunities with ASEA, you can be anywhere, and even on vacations or commuting, like retirement to Arizona, you can do it wherever you're at. And that is definitely a great option for us, having our own business that way.
So I've watched your team grow around multiple states. What would you say are some of the key tenets that your belief system started that have carried over to other people? Those things that you want to make a difference in the world, where you can sometimes get a phone call from someone you don't even know that says, thank you for being courageous. Thank you for bringing this information. What are some of the things that you're looking most forward to your group accomplishing as a larger entity instead of just yourself?
Well, I look for people as well that people that know me trust me just because of our friendship and the bonds that I've made throughout the years doing all different kinds of I homeschooled all my kids, so I have that whole group. There's just so many different groups that I can reach out to, and they know me and they trust me. And I believe I think I had 3 or 4 people order ASEA before I even got mine, just because of that. And before I even, it kind of bothers me when they say they have to experience it themselves first, because maybe they don't understand it the way I understood it. But it was very obvious to me that that's, if it's God-given and my body makes it, why wouldn't I try it? And but yeah, the opportunities are unreal of where you can take this business. And with this situation in the world the way it is now, people are definitely in need of making better decisions in caring for their bodies. And ASEA can't not help you.
Awesome. And one last question, and that is that you've had some amazing experiences together with other people, even while many were locked up. How important do you think experiential working together with teams or groups of people is going to be to fill the hearts and souls? Is that actually something you can offer to people in the future?
Absolutely. I know that anybody that I have met with ASEA, whether it was through get-togethers live or our Zoom get-togethers, I know I could call any of them at any time. If I have somebody in fact, I have had somebody in Colorado that fell and hurt his leg, and I just put word out there, we need ASEA. We need ASEA in Colorado Springs at this base, and we need it now. And I have people contact me and say, how can I get it to them? I mean, I have no doubt that everybody in this company wants to see me succeed, whether they're on my team or not. That's just the way ASEA is.
Very good. So you think your team's going to grow?
Absolutely, it is.
How big do you see it getting?
Huge.
Okay, next time I see you, I want you to have a number for me.
Okay, I will.
All right. So now those of you who have had the opportunity to meet Vicki, I know you want to go to some of the events now, because in real life, she's even better. And thank you, Vicki, for that. I'll pass it back to our moderators. So back to you, Gloria.
Thank you so much, Vicki and Jerry, for the engaging conversation. And Ruth, Crea, are you going to close this up? Or, well, let me just pause for a moment. I'm wondering, Jerry, for our viewers, after they've gotten to hear this information, what are the 3 different ways that they could move forward? Could you kind of
3 different ways that you can use this information. We would say, I like the first one to sort of be combined. Get the technology in your hands. We call it get a case and do a case study. And use it for 90 days. You're going to be absolutely astounded at what you discover. Be courageous when you do that. We know that it can't hurt anything. In fact, it's ridiculously safe. It doesn't interfere with other programs or other medications or any of that, because you're simply putting back in the body something that allows it to know better what it was supposed to do. Option number 2 is those people who can say, I'd like to join with a group of people to make a bigger difference. And heck, goal would be maybe to have an option to provide for people that you care for. And for some, even stretch that to say, maybe make back enough so you can pay for your own. Then there's a third group of people that say, I see this as like the next big opportunity in the world. And it's going to go big, but it isn't going to go big without me. So I better jump in and go after it. And that is a type of person who you don't have to be sick in order to. Did you know that a lot of these major healthcare companies are probably more like sick care companies? And it's the largest industry in the history of the world is American sick care. And if we ask that question of who your healthcare provider is, most people will give me a name of a licensed practitioner, or they might give me a name of a insurance company. But let's change the question. Who's in charge of your health? Oh. Oftentimes we come to the realization that you're in charge of your health, they're in charge of your sickness. So if we change that to a category called sick care, and you're now in charge of healthcare, wouldn't it be amazing if you could do with all three of those options, you could learn how to care for your health in ways we never knew existed before. Neutralizing what we've done to ourselves. For most people don't realize that you're exposed to more toxicity in 15 minutes than a person living 100 years ago would have gotten in an entire lifetime. We are in a more stressful environment. We are in a more disrupted environment. We got age and air pollution, water pollution, lack of nutrients, lack of food, lack of exercise, too little sleep, too much noise, too little darkness, all these things that we're competing against. So that all three groups could access the knowledge and the expertise and the friendship of other people to train yourself and your family to have a much better life experience along the way. You don't have to be sick. Praise the Lord for that. You just want to have this ability to say, I can get out of the way of all these troubles and live a higher life. So get back with the people who brought you and pick one of those three options. Okay, back to you.
Thank you so much, Joey. And now, Ruth, I'll just hand it back to you. You want to unmute yourself and close us out?
So first I want to thank Jerry and Vicki for sharing your stories and for the nice questions. I mean, I learned a lot, especially about the animals. There were certain things about the digestive that I'm just really learning a lot from these. And so just thank you very much for coming on today. And so tomorrow we're having Amy
Here it is.
we're having Amy Smithwick come on, and she's going to be sharing the gift of joy with us. And it's at 3:30, and the Zoom ID is 509-876-1802. And I'd just like to invite everyone to come, and if you have friends or family members, invite them too.
We look forward to seeing you there.